Hey y'all, let's make sure this camera's good so y'all can see everything going on. Today we're gonna make what my son named the Mississippi Dog. Back in a time when Sonic had the hot dogs with the names, I really don't remember what they were. There was I remember the Chicago dog because I liked it because I think it had sauerkraut or something on it. Anyway, back in those days, for you Sonic lovers who remember those days, this is the Mississippi Dog. You must use Conecuh sausage. I will show you how much I use. You see I've pre-cut everything so y'all didn't have to watch all that. But this is the Conecuh. They make the small. I like the small because keep in mind it's going to go on a hot dog bun. I won't show you the assembly today, but I like to open up my bun and toast it and have it on more like an open face with a hot dog bun. Anyway, it's just your preference. You can light bread it or whatever. So this is, I guess I'm pronouncing that right, the Conecuh, see? And it's the small, it's the small link. See, the small? They have the big though. I prefer, like I said, the small. And there's no right or wrong way to slice it. As you see though, there's usually just two of us eating, and I will end up, we'll either eat on the leftovers a couple of days, or either I'll freeze some. So, to keep this goes now in a Ziploc bag, and I'll put this in the freezer. Well, what I'll probably do, it's been in the refrigerator since yesterday. It's good one more night because we put a lot of sausage on the grill and whatnot. We eat a lot of sausage. I'm just going to go ahead and put this in the freezer. I'm going to freeze it. You can always take it out and break it or whatever, froze. And wash off the cutting board. Y'all, this cutting board, I don't even know how old it is. It was my mom's. When I was cutting these vegetables earlier, I was thinking, Lord, I don't know. It's got to where I'm having to be careful that I don't get little shivers of wood in my food. I'm having to re-rinse everything because it is so used. And I don't know. I got to find out how to redo it or sand it or recoat it or I got to do something and I know I have the Butcher Block counters, but I don't like to use those for whatever reason. So this is my go-to cutting board that I have had. I couldn't even tell you how long. Like I said, it was my mom's. I gotta figure out a way both sides are bad. But anyway, I keep using it. Alright, and we're gonna let that sausage do its thing for a few minutes. And like I said, I've already cut up all the vegetables, and sausage makes its own grease. But I do put a little bit of olive oil in there at first to get it going. You can use vegetable oil, you can use butter, you can use none. Whatever your preference is, I like to put just a little bit of olive oil in there. And something about olive oil, it gives it some flavor. I don't know what it does, but that's what I'm doing. You hear it sizzling? There's just enough, I don't know, a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of EVO in the bottom. And it's getting happy. You hear it? Well, I've already cut the vegetables. Now this Mississippi Dog is, like I said, it's our version of the hot dog. Kind of like Sonic. But you can do it whatever your preference is. But I got them all cut up for y'all because I didn't want, like I said, I did most of the prep work. Well, all the prep work. A sweet onion. There's a yellow bell pepper cut up. An orange bell pepper. And a red bell pepper. All of this. And the vegetables are going to go in there in just a minute. Some people, at first we were using a green bell pepper when we first started doing this a few years back. But I had my gallbladder removed. I know that's probably too much information, but since then, that green bell pepper hurts me. I can't eat it. So we use the yellow, the red, and the orange. And they're much sweeter too. But they're good. And a sweet onion, not just a regular yellow onion or red onion, but a sweet Vidalia onion. And I think You don't want these to get all the way done because, like I said, your vegetables have to cook. Okay? So I got them going. They're happy. See, they're getting happy. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to dump the vegetables in. You don't want to get rid of your grease yet. You are going to get rid of some of that in a little while when it's done. But you want everything to get that flavor in it. So I'm going to go ahead and dump these out in there. All the vegetables in right on top of the sausage. And let them get happy. Y'all, that's beautiful. I wish y'all could smell. Okay, and again, there are several different variants, however you want to do this. Like I said, we used to put green bell pepper, but I just can't handle them anymore. I put 1 jalapeno. Cut it in half, de-seed it. See, it's cut in half. Y'all don't put this in whole because those seeds are really hot. Drop it in there, let it get happy. With it, you know what, I'm only going to put half. I'm going to put half today. I don't want, yeah. And you could put, I got to where I use those little, I don't even know what they're called, y'all. I call them sweet peppers, the little bitty whole. They're orange, red, yellow. You can get them in, I get them in Piggly Wiggly. Have got them in Walmart, I believe. I got them in Walmart. Anyway, they're in a little Ziploc, like a little Ziploc bag. Those are really good. I've got to work with those in beans and everything. But right now, we're going to let this do its thing. Get happy. I like a lot of vegetables. I may have put too many vegetables in this batch. Well, I'm not seeing a whole lot of sausage. But those, they'll shrink down. Your peppers and all, they'll shrink down. So don't worry about that. And then we're going to wait till last if you want to. But we put mushrooms in here. Those are washed, cut. See, and they'll go in when this is right at done because those mushrooms, they're going to cook so fast and they're going to shrink to about near nothing. So if you like mushrooms like I do, I put in the whole pack. No matter how many people I'm trying to feed or how many bell pepper I've cut or how much sausage, I'm going to put a whole thing of mushrooms because they're going to shrink. And by thing, I mean, you know, the container, it's about that big. Well, I've already thrown it away or I'll show you. But anyway, you get the idea. Okay, so this is going to get happy. You'll see, I'm not going to keep y'all, should let you look at that, but when those peppers shrink down to probably half their size, you'll see, and they'll get, see how they're firm right now? Well, see how they're firm when you first cut a bell pepper? They'll be all loopty, as I call it. They'll be all hung over. So at that point, dump your mushrooms in there. When they start getting that flexibility, dump your mushrooms in there. And do it some more, stirring around. And then you're going to get rid of your grease, or the majority of it. Get rid of your grease. Because keep in mind, you're going to assemble a hot dog with this, like on a bun, so you don't want it to get soggy. So you can really get rid of all of your juice at that point. And then toast that bun. Don't toast that bun. Dress it with, I eat mayonnaise and mustard. Call it a day. But you can, whatever, however you like your hot dog, y'all try this. It's delicious. Absolutely delicious. And, and before you serve it, take out that jalapeno for that person in your house that wants to eat it on the side. If you have one of those, like me. And if you want it hotter, try a habanero. Try to cut it up in there. You know what I mean? Try to cut up the jalapeno if you want to. Use the habanero pepper, but I'm gonna tell you about them. If you don't know about a habanero pepper, I called myself about 2 years ago gonna make some pepper jelly with those. Y'all, that was the first time using a habanero for me to make jelly. And for you jelly makers, it's in, you know, you're in your house and you smell everything. Well, those habaneros cooking even after you have de-seeded them. You gotta boil them down to get your juice to make the jelly. Y'all, I couldn't stay in my house. My eyes were watering. It was horrible. So I made it through it though. Well, and I got, I think, I don't know, 7 or 8 little quart jars out of that cooking that year. Well, we couldn't, nobody in the house could eat it. We tried, all the kids tried. son-in-laws, daughter-in-laws, aunts, uncles, everybody tried. Well, none of us liked it. We couldn't eat it. Well, I took some biscuits and jelly one day to work for my crew with me. I went and took them breakfast that morning with different kind of jellies, of course. Well, there was the sweetest little man that used to work with me. His name's Mr. Danny, and he was from Louisiana, and he loved all that hot stuff. Y'all know he ate every bit of that and wanted the rest. I told Mr. Danny, hey, I've got 7 or 8 jars at home. You can have every bit of it. so he ate it. So I mean, it's not. You're not making it in vain. Somebody will eat it, but I don't like the habaneros. I can't eat them. Don't want to try. But if you want it extra hot, hey, you can do that. Or cayenne pepper. If you don't want the spice at all, don't put the jalapeno. Without the jalapeno, it's not gonna have any spice at all, because the sausage, they're not hot. All the bell peppers and onions I put in here, all that's sweet. So just play with it. But the base of the Mississippi dog is connected sausage, bell peppers, onions, and mushrooms. Y'all have fun with it. See you next time.